Hello everybody, thanks for watching this video. My name is David. This channel is DeMars Coaching, and today's video I'm going to talk about the similarities between borderline personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. I've made hundreds of videos of each, and I've made similar videos like this. I've definitely made videos about the differences, because of all the personality disorders I hear people talk about people they know, it seems like the most confusing is the borderline and narcissist disorders, the difference between them. And a lot of people say they're the same thing. And as I started studying these, I used to think they're the same thing too, until I got to understand them better, and I can see the differences very clearly now. I hope this video does that for you too. I'm making this video for you guys because it can be so confusing. It's something I'm asked about so much. I hope this does it for you. The Mayo Clinic says personality disorders is a type of mental disorder in which you have a rigid and unhealthy pattern of thinking, functioning, and behaving. A person with a personality disorder has trouble perceiving and relating to situations and people. Very important. They have trouble relating to people, relationships. That's why these exist, the names. So, this might just confuse you more. You see all the similarities. But let's see. So, narcissistic personality disorder has a pattern of grandiosity, where they think that they're special and unique and stuff like this. A person with borderline can very much have that. And I want to be clear that there's a very distinct criteria for personality disorders, and there's tons of overlap. Once you cross the line into a personality disorder, you could very often, most commonly, have traits of maybe all 10. And that's why it's distinct, and that's why it's a number of traits you must have, the criteria you must meet. But narcissists have a diagnostic trait as a pattern of grandiosity, and borderlines can be very grandiose. Okay, these are spectral disorders. Doesn't mean that if you're borderline, you will be grandiose, and it doesn't mean if you're borderline, you won't be. You can be and still be borderline. Borderlines can be extremely selfish. They can be very narcissistic. Depression can be narcissistic. If your mother or father has severe depression and doesn't get the help and treatment that they need, they can't give you what you need. That's narcissistic parenting. Borderlines can be very egoistic. If I don't know who I am, I rely on my ego to survive. Narcissists have a need for admiration. Borderline have a need for attention. Narcissists lack empathy. A lack of empathy doesn't mean they don't have any, but they're severely lacking. It's a spectrum. Whereas borderline, what they say, they define it as lacking awareness of how behaviors affect others. That's lacking empathy. You can cut it however you want, wrap it up however you want, put whatever bow you want on it, but to not be aware of how my behaviors affect you, I'm lacking empathy. Sociopaths have some empathy. Borderlines lack some. Not all. I can't say that. And let me be very clear. Oh, I forgot to give the disclosure. I'm not, borderline personality disorder is the only one I have to do this to. This is not all borderlines. So I'm not talking about you, and every single one of these may not be you. Okay? I totally understand that. Narcissists believe they're better than other people, maybe in appearance or style. Tons of borderlines will be judgmental, critical, be all about their brand clothes and perfumes and jewelry and cars. Totally. Yeah. Not all. I know a lot of borderlines personally that dress down. They couldn't be more, I don't want to use the word normal, but average in appearance or style. But there are some that are very fake, charming, egoistic, care about these things. If you don't know who you are, you're going to. Fantasies of grandeur, something that narcissists do. Fantasize about how grand they are and will be someday. Borderlines idealize too. They idealize relationships. One of the criteria that narcissists fantasize is relationships. Not just narcissists, believe it or not, they idealize and fantasize about grandiose relationships, how amazing a relationship could be for me. And borderlines are very guilty of that. My gosh, the splitting, the black and white thinking. You're amazing, and then how long does it take for you to be the most awful person in the world? A second. Narcissists are interpersonally exploitative. These are diagnostic traits and criteria. So are borderlines. Interpersonally exploitative. And I'll have borderlines tell me, I'm not. Are you sure? Because most people that are exploitative aren't really aware. And borderlines lack awareness on how their behaviors affect others. The most common exploitation borderlines will do to others is financial and sexual. I lost my job. Will you help me? I have no place to live. Will you help me? I couldn't pay for this. Can you help me? Somebody did this to me and took this from me and ruined this and broke it. I'll help you. I'll give you a ride. I'll do that for you. You don't have sex with me enough. I mean, lots of similarities. You guys already know this. People with a narcissistic personality disorder tend to be very envious. Not jealous, jealous too, but envious. I want what you have, and I want people to want what I have. That's envy. I'll take it from you, destroy you for it. I think that can definitely be borderline too. Borderlines are infamous for seeking unavailable people, like married people, getting involved with married men and married women. I want what they have. I want that. I want that marriage. I want that relationship. I want to be a mother. I want to do this. Not do it myself. Take it from you. Absorb it from you. People with narcissistic personality disorder show arrogant and haughty behaviors. Oh, have I seen borderlines do that too? Judgment, criticize, anger. Anger. People with borderline can be extremely angry, very angry people, very typical to be angry and have anger outbursts. We might call rage. Well, guess what? That's a diagnostic trait for narcissistic personality disorder too. Borderline personality disorder, diagnostic trait, frantic efforts to avoid abandonment. Boy, have I and have you known people with narcissistic personality disorder to take frantic efforts to make sure they're not abandoned. Controlling you and taking away your keys and controlling the money and, making sure you, looking through your stuff. And you cheating on me. Borderline personality disorder people typically have a very huge pattern. And remember, this is a pattern of instability. Maybe it'll show in jobs or where you live or relationships. You don't get much more unstable than relationships with borderlines and narcissists. Both of their relationships are unstable. They start and stop suddenly, go back and back and back to the same person, get married right away. Impulsive. Both can be extremely impulsive. So there's a very distinct criteria for diagnosis. And you'll find this, if you guys want to, you can look up the Diagnostic Statistics Manual for Mental Health. This is the book that doctors use to diagnose people. I don't recommend ever to self-diagnose or diagnose other people. I'm hoping that if you've ever been a victim of emotional abuse and trauma, that maybe this will help you understand that better, because what happens, unfortunately, is we internalize all of it and believe it's us and our fault and something we've done or something we could do better, and compare ourselves to other people, and we're left with massive self-doubt and low self-worth and self-esteem. Realize that these behaviors are projections of how they feel about themselves. Mostly how we treat others are. You see people on the internet smearing people and saying bad things over and over for months and years. You see how they feel about themselves. you see that they cannot relate to other people in situations. There is a very big difference between these two. There's many. I've made videos about this. If you have questions about it, ask me. I have a weekly Q&A. You can ask questions there too. And all of you, please share your opinions, your examples down below. I'd appreciate it. So would others. I think it really helps people validate their experiences and learn from them. Anybody who's been affected by this, these types of behaviors, these types of relationships, been traumatized, abused, you're depressed, you're anxious, get help. Everyone is healable, okay? Find a professional, therapist, counselor, professional coach. Anybody that wants coaching, you can contact me at daviddemars.com. Ask questions, love yourself first, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye.